Hey everybody, it is Maddie here with Altcoin Buzz with you on this Monday. Hope your weekends were superb. Today we're talking about Bitcoin mining power, how it's hit a new all-time high as 500,000 new ASICs go online. That's courtesy of CoinDesk on bitcoinist.com. They're talking about Tim Draper. We'll walk you through some of the tweets as well. But he's suddenly saying that $250,000 per Bitcoin is suddenly a conservative price prediction. We'll let you know the story there. A couple of individuals in this space also have some interesting observations that we'll discuss on altcoinbuzz.io. Believe TenX. Bitcoin adoption is 3 steps away. Also on the website, latest on XRP, CNN interviews CEO Brad Garlinghouse. We'll check that out to close things off. However, let's begin with a snapshot of the market here. We are on CoinGecko.com where things are up 0.08% to 267 billion total market cap. Dominance of Bitcoin at 69.2%. And at the time of this recording, it's really been flat for the most part over these last few days, which is not a bad thing. But Bitcoin is currently sitting at $10,306. Here now on CoinDesk, we're discussing the fact that 600,000 powerful new machines may have come online in the last 3 months. So according to data from crypto mining pool BTC.com, Bitcoin's 2-week average hash rate has crossed another major threshold, reaching 85 exahashes per second at around 7 o'clock last Friday UTC time. Meanwhile, mining difficulty has also adjusted to a new record of nearly 12 trillion. And if you're not familiar with those numbers, they're pretty unbelievable. Take it in a relative sense, if you will, because both figures have jumped 60% since only June 14th. Now, for many, in particular the manufacturers of these mining rigs, this is becoming an increasingly lucrative business. These powerful ASIC miners made by major manufacturers such as Bitmain, Canaan, InnoSilicon, and MicroBT are priced from $1,500 to $2,500 each. So if more than 500,000 of them were delivered as estimated above, the leading miner makers could have made $1 billion in revenue over the past 3 months. And it was the Chinese miners that estimated earlier this year that Bitcoin's average hash rate in the summer would break the level of 70 exahashes. That happened in August. Token Insight, we've talked about them before. They're a great startup that focuses on analysis of crypto trading and mining activities. And they said in a report published Friday that additional supplies of miners are expected to hit the market in the coming months. Quote, following the drastic increase in Bitcoin's price, the Bitcoin mining market saw significant inflation in Q2 2019. Most of the miners from various manufacturers were in serious shortage, and pre-orders submitted in Q2 and Q3 are to be delivered by the end of the year, end quote, according to that report. In other news now, here on Twitter, @Bitcoinist is tweeting how billionaire venture capitalist Tim Draper says his Bitcoin price forecast of $250,000 by 2022 understates the power of Bitcoin. Let's fast forward to that article here by clicking the link on bitcoinist.com. Tim Draper says $250,000 Bitcoin price prediction is conservative. Speaking to Block TV, Draper described his famous $250,000 Bitcoin price forecast as being conservative. He said the following, quote, $250,000 means that Bitcoin would then have about 5% market share of the currency world, and I think that may be underestimating the power of Bitcoin. Of course, the billionaire has consistently maintained his popular Bitcoin price prediction, calling it absolutely solid back in 2018. And as previously reported by Bitcoinist, BTCC founder Bobby Lee believes the Bitcoin price could reach $200,000, quote, in a very short time. According to Lee, Bitcoin hitting $20,000 again will be the trigger for an even greater parabolic advance that would see the Bitcoin all-time high price entering a new order of magnitude. But of course, it all comes down to functionality, and during the interview, Draper declared that there was still work needed to be done to make Bitcoin easy to use. In February of this year, Draper made the prediction famously that people will be using Bitcoin to pay for coffee by 2021. And don't forget, we've come a long way. That was something that was laughable just a couple years ago. For those that entered the space in 2017, I mean, you had transaction fees that were on the order of 5, 6, maybe 10 times the price of the product in the case of coffee that you were looking to buy. But fast forward, and with different improvements courtesy of the Lightning Network, that's already something that that could more or less be done. So Draper was even part of the $1.25 million investment round for OpenNode, a Bitcoin payment processor startup in late 2018. Fellow billionaire and Bitcoin advocate Jack Dorsey earlier in September noted that while Bitcoin appears primed to become the native currency of the internet, it is still some way off from achieving such heights. What do y'all think about that in the comments below? Do you agree with Mr. Tim Draper? Is $250,000 now suddenly too conservative a price prediction for 2021? One way or another, I agree actually with what Bobby Lee said earlier in his prediction that once we hit 20K, once we test that again and we're in that arena, I think it's off to the rockets. We're going to moon from there once we're primed and after this extended bear market period. Let's now move on to @CryptoLogino here of Safe Haven, who tweeted the following on the 15th of September. I see projects disappear who raised $15 to $40 million US back in 2017. We had probably one of the smallest raisings in one of the most difficult markets since 2017 bull run. We still hold majority of our funds in crypto and managed to launch 4 working products not even a year after. Continuing, the products we released could have their own fundraising: SafeKey, Thorblock, charity and fundraising, TAN, TAN, MySafe Wallet, SHIP, SHIP, Thorpay. We managed to build all this with a limited budget and a badass team. Absolutely, some good points there. So kudos to our friend Logino Dujardin over at Safe Haven. Switching gears now to altcoinbuzz.io. Believe TenX Bitcoin adoption is 3 steps away. Article here by Deepika. TenX shares its straightforward approach to replace the old money issues with Bitcoin and crypto adoption. The approach is simple. Can it fructify? CEO Toby Honish stated the TenX, quote, 3 steps to programmable money promises to hasten the adoption of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies at Invest Asia 2019 in Singapore. So what exactly are the steps going to be? Compliance, number 1, education, number 2, and access to crypto banking at number 3. Pretty straightforward ultimately. So the company aims to accelerate Bitcoin and crypto adoption by doing things the right way. TenX has already been working in a compliant manner, and it is the transactional support by Visa Payment Gateway that supports its right way of doing things. On the educative front, TenX has been gearing up. It is the TenX Open Office at Toby's presence as a speaker at the changelog that is indicative of the effort. Read more about what TenX is doing to make that new world a reality by checking out the rest of Deepika's article. And here finally on altcoinbuzz.io, latest on XRP. CNN interviews CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Article by Efinye. Yesterday, Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse was interviewed by CNN's Julia Chatterley, where he discussed the latest on the crypto exchange. And here is that exchange. You can check it out in full if you're interested by following @JChatterleyCNN. That is Julia Chatterley. Again, she interviewed the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, on CNN, and they discussed all kinds of things. We'll link to this tweet in the description below if you're interested in watching the video in full. But they discussed oil, they discussed assets, they discussed, as you can imagine, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. They also discussed the level of control Ripple has over the price of XRP. In the interview, Garlinghouse said, quote, Ripple, as the largest owner of XRP, is the most interested party in the success of XRP. That makes sense. Thus, despite accusations dumping XRP on the network isn't our best interest. We're interested in a healthy, successful ecosystem. And so we would never do that. And we have taken steps to lock up most of the XRP we own in escrow. Essentially, we can't touch it. Garlinghouse also expressed skepticism over projects like Facebook's Libra, stating, quote, it remains an unreleased project, a white paper, and nothing more, at least currently. Thus, assessing how Libra can affect the cryptosphere is premature right now. Again, for the interview in full, check out that link, which we're going to include in the description below, and let us know your thoughts about that. I gotta say, for CNN to be covering Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple, XRP, that's an exposure to the mainstream that is at least interesting. I don't know if it's worth getting excited about, but it's quite interesting. And back to Logino Dujardin @CryptoLogino. I could not agree more at Brad Garlinghouse, or B Garlinghouse, I should say, quote, utility will dictate digital assets value. What about making all the XRP wallets inheritable with Safe Haven IO? Good idea. Let's focus on utility together. There you have it. So that about wraps it up for the news today, everybody. Do be sure you are following us on all the regular social media channels and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications. But best of luck if you choose to invest. Have a wonderful Monday, everybody. A great start to your weeks. And as always, we hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.